Who ends up at LSU?
Yeah.
All right, now this is interesting.
Yeah.
Is it a coach who already beat them this year?
Could be. Dabo Swin. No. Lost to him.
Lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Lane, Florida or LSU, I think LSU is the better job. I think Florida might be more along Lane's interests.
I don't know. I don't know how Lane would lean there. Or if Lane is just going to end up staying at Ole Miss.
Which he could.
Yeah.
My thought is that he seems to have his pick of amazing jobs. And whether he will have his pick of LSU or Florida, or we'll see. But man, he's a top candidate for either one of those jobs. James Franklin, no-go at LSU.
I can't say it's a no-go because the AD is just obsessed with hiring big names regardless of fit.
I'm scratching off Dan Lanning.
I mean, the Jimbo hire at, I think you can excuse him for the Jimbo hire at A&M because, the guy had won a national title. Those of us that were covering that program on a day-to-day basis were like, this guy is cooked. This is A&M fans are going to be so pissed with this hire. And we first guessed it. It's like he's not the same coach he was before all the stuff went down, So, but they kind of ignored that, and they figured they'd money whip everybody. They were doing NIL before NIL was a thing, right? And still couldn't win. And then BK was always kind of a weird fit, but I thought it could work.
Saban on paper is a weird fit at LSU, and he changed the entire trajectory of the football program. So I don't need you necessarily to be from the state of Louisiana to work at LSU, but clearly there is also some
Just
tact.
don't come in giving off airs.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's Lane, I don't know what job Lane would pick. I think LSU is a better job. Florida might be, like Tom said, more to his interests. They have a pretty good coach in their backyard. And it doesn't fit Scott Woodward's idea of let's just go hire the biggest name. But the guy...
John Summerall.
Right. And they did not do the Napier thing because they didn't want to hire a coach from a G5 in the state of Louisiana.
Oh, let's go in the time machine, bud. Let's jump in the time machine to 2021. Mikey, can we get it on the screen? This is just prescient beyond belief. You want to read it for the audio listeners?
Yes, from 2021. If Florida hires Billy Napier after in-state LSU showed no interest, one rival is going to look smart and the other will probably look dumb in a few years. Not sure who. Turns out maybe both.
Both.
Both. That's the science of hiring a football coach right there. You really have no damn idea. You can hire Urban Meyer and you might not win a national title. You don't know.
You could hire Urban Meyer and he can kick your kicker, allegedly. Flame out gloriously. Any name. Is Jimbo Fisher a candidate at LSU?
No.
Okay.
No. Joe Brady won the national title there as offensive coordinator, doing really well still in the NFL. I don't know if he's actually interested in coming back into running a college program or not. I think he'd rather be an NFL head coach, and he's probably on track to get one of those jobs soon enough. So I don't know if he would do it, but I think you kick the tires. I think you kick the tires on Clark Lee. I think you kick the tires on all the typical names that you would expect to be in line for a job like this right now.
I would call Notre Dame's guy again.
Marcus Freeman?
Mm-hmm. I don't know that he would take it, but I would call it.
But yeah.
Not a great recruiter, obviously, and he's at his alma mater. But is Jeff Brom going to get more in play here with this many openings?
Oh, maybe. We'll see. Jeff's been around, man. Jeff, that's a what does Jeff want? And I'm not close enough to him to have a good beat on that, but. Yeah, he's a good enough coach. Again, it's my tagline, but I'll say it forever. He got Purdue to the Big Ten title game. I don't care about Big Ten West or whatever like you want to put on that. He put together one of the winningest streaks of Purdue football since Joe Tiller. So I'd put him on any list for any job to at least gauge his interest.
Two more. Eli Drinkwitz, if we're mentioning for Florida, like the guy does a really good job at Missouri, obviously. Like they're not going to have a nice finish to their season with both quarterbacks out, but he's done a really good job there. And Brent Key. I mean, if he's kind of a Saban guy, right? I mean, like they may want to get back to that model. Or do you take big swings here? Like, do you call Nick? Do you call Urban?
Yeah.
You know what I would do, honestly? I'm paying 50-something million in a buyout. I'd probably go for somebody who's not an established big name, somebody I feel like I could get for a little cheaper, somebody a little more young, somebody energetic, whether that's like a Joe Brady or even Glenn Schumann from Georgia. Like hiring Georgia's defensive coordinator at Oregon seemed to work pretty well for Oregon so far. You kind of have, like, it's not turnkey, but I feel like if there is a program in college football that's kind of a turnkey operation, it's LSU. Because, Barton had used to say on the show all the time, what did he say, Chip? What are the colors of every single high school in Louisiana?
He said, and he painted the picture, if you've been at one of these before, when a football stadium is going to hold 5 state title games through the day, they're going to start at like 10 a.m. and they're going to go through the day. And he said about every damn classification, the 1AA, the 2AA, the 3A, the 4A, there's always a team with purple and gold and or they're named the Tigers. Like it is just like the whole high school football system is to breed the best players to go to LSU.
So bring in somebody who can establish one side of the ball for you, who will recruit like crazy and bring in that talent. And then, don't give them a contract with a giant buyout. Just give them a good contract.
So Dillingham
would be a great hire at LSU, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really do think that because of Tom, you said top 3 job, right?
At worst. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we're dealing with a top 3 job, I will say any name. Sure, you're a candidate for LSU. You might be 40th on their power rankings, but yeah,
you will consider it for sure.
Yes, yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Did we mention Clark Lee?
Yeah,
yes.
we did. Okay. And somebody mentioned this earlier in the tailgate, posing the question: is Eli Drinkwitz a flight risk? This is incredibly unfair to Missouri fans and to Eli Drinkwitz, but reading the language on his face in the post-game press conference on Saturday night was someone who very much understood the season's probably like, this is going to be a tough year the rest of the way. And he'd said, but we're still in the mix for the playoff. We're probably out for the SEC, but we got to rally around our young quarterback and we got to, figure out a way to get this thing done. Like, ooh, if Missouri is conveniently wrapping things up around Thanksgiving, that could change the Eli Drinkwitz. Just, sometimes it's the timing and you never know what it's going to be like. Eli might be a big candidate for LSU, might be a big candidate for Florida, whether it happens, whether Missouri, gets him to stay. I think that he's definitely going to be very much on the table.
You're in the chat saying that LSU isn't one of the top 3 jobs in the country. Did you just start paying attention to this sport in 2021?
I think you could make a list of top 3. It doesn't include LSU, but to assume LSU is not top 3
wrong.
is like, yeah, like, I mean, Ohio State, you could go like Ohio State, Bama, Georgia. And I wouldn't say like that's wrong necessarily, like
I'd rather have LSU than Texas.
I'd rather have LSU than Bama. I mean, Bama was under Nick Saban.
I think we're splitting
I know
hairs.
Bear Bryant was there, and I know Stallings were there, but that was in the long, long ago. I'm talking about the modern era of college football. This program has had 3 different coaches win national titles. Les Miles, Ed Orgeron, and Nick Saban. Okay? And then Nick Saban went to Alabama and won more. But he did it at LSU first, and then 2 other guys were able to do it there after him. Like, what other school can claim that in this era of sports?
The
Ohio State.
A lot of folks in the chat are saying Kelvin Shepard, the Lions DC.
Ooh.
He was at LSU for a year. I mean, he obviously played there, but he was there as a player after his NFL career for the COVID year.
People like him at the NFL. I mean, Tom, you you're going to have more Detroit Lions knowledge than I will, but don't people generally respect his sort of like what he's done with that Lions defense this year?
Yeah, a bit. I mean, yeah, the Lions defense is, I think it's a Dan Campbell operation more than anything. It's nothing against Shepard. I just feel like the culture in that franchise right now is just kind of established.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go get the Saints head coach, right?
Kellen Moore?
Like, what's a better job, LSU or the Saints?
LSU.
LSU, right. The guy was just the OC for the Super Bowl champion, right?
Yeah. I don't know if I want Kellen Moore, though. I mean, it's not exactly working well for the Saints to this point.
Wait, Kellen Moore's the head coach of the Saints right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real, like, was an interim?
The Boise State quarterback.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Yeah.
He's like, they hired him, and they're.
Was he in
from
Dallas?
The reading when I was cramming pre-show, I was like, oh, the Saints are screwed forever with this salary cap stuff. So maybe he jumps.
Cliff Kingsbury? Anybody? If we want to, relive old dreams.
Cliff's not going to recruit well enough there. You have to, like, for LSU to be where it wants to be, you need to have a dogged recruiting staff, which is why, again, I would go the younger route. I wouldn't go for the 60, 50-year-old guy unless I know that guy is going to recruit like crazy, which is one reason why I think you'd have to consider James Franklin, because James Franklin would recruit. You know that for a fact.
I think James Franklin would fit what LSU. I think he could hit the ground running at LSU.
Do you think that they might go like Oklahoma model with the GM dictating to the head coach?
Depends on who they hire.
They could. I mean, I think
the recruiting's been pretty good the last 2 years, like high school wise. Like they, even under BK, who's not an amazing recruiter. That kind of fits Tom's idea of you don't need to go crazy expensive on this, but that's very antithetical to what their AD has done.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and point out.
Okay, hey, hold on. A lot of people think Lashley's really happy at SMU, and from everything I've heard, he is. And I think he's probably a little too close to Gus to like get Auburn. And I don't think I would leave SMU to take Arkansas. Is this a job SMU needs to be worried about?
Yeah.
I
think SMU needs to be worried about Florida too.
Yeah, I would agree.
Would you say if I am Scott Woodward, I would look at that stat Bud dropped on the reaction show last night about me being responsible for hiring the two guys with the biggest buyouts. And I might say, you know what, maybe this third time I try a different route.
I also, buddy, this is reckless. This might be not ready for, we should have buried this in an instant reaction show, like an hour and 42 minutes in. But when you have this kind of rallying of resources to make the move, it also means we've got a lot of cooks in the kitchen. I do not think that the athletic director individually will be wielding the scepter. Is that a fair thing to assume, given what we're talking about, to make it happen?
I don't know enough about their power structure.
Yeah, I mean, think about this, all the smoke all day about high-level conversations are being had about the future of Brian Kelly. Things are trending towards, there's just, I feel like there's a group chat. I feel like there's a telephone tree. I feel like there's a lot of people who are going to have a say here. So it could be another crazy, splashy head coach, but I don't know if I'm going to put it just at Scott Woodward's feet on this one, though his trend historically speaks for itself. So anybody else we want to get on the record?
Every coach in the country.
Bruce Feldman said Matt Campbell, apparently.
Yeah, again, make it sure. And if I'm Matt Campbell, hell yeah. Matt Campbell's a good football coach. Matt
if you're
Campbell,
LSU, are you excited by Matt Campbell?
No.
Neither am I. If I'm LSU.
No.
But
I love
if
Matt
I'm like Michigan or something, then yeah.
Yeah. Penn State, yeah. LSU,
right.
No. Especially because LSU just hired the Midwest coach. And now here we are, 4 years and $50 million later.
John Summerall. He's right there.
I think Summerall would be a very good hire.
Dak Daniels in the chat says Cristobal. I don't think Cristobal's leaving Miami.
Neither do
I think Cristobal's superpower is being at Miami.
Yeah.
Mario Cristobal can be, in my opinion, the most powerful version of himself in the college football world by being the head coach of the Miami Hurricanes. If he wants to go to the NFL or something, sure, that can be another conversation for another day. But in college football, it ain't going to get much better for Mario than being the head coach at Miami.
Campbell's also like not having the season to get hired off.
No.
Like if they were making a playoff run, sure, but no, not now.
Yeah. Below 2 double-digit leads to BYU at home.
Did they take a look at Golesh?
I don't think it gets there.
Okay. I think I agree. They probably swing big.
Or just go ahead.
Possibly unpopular opinion. I don't feel like that offense is meant for these programs.
I mean, Tennessee's done a good job modifying it now.
Mm-hmm. But do you look at Tennessee as a title contender?
Yeah, I think it in the right year. Yeah, I think they bring in talent like about that way. Like given the flattening of the sport, yeah, I think so. Plus, he was calling it the 1 year where it was just basically unstoppable there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was the play caller that year, right?
Of the 22 season?
22, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, to me, and this is my observations, I'm
Dan
wrong
Lanning's
a
not
lot.
leaving Oregon, by the way. Like,
yeah,
no,
Dan Lanning's
in the
not
chat,
going,
like, guys,
yeah.
no. Like, there's a reason we don't bring that up.
But to me, that's just an offense that when it runs up against the kind of elite defenses you're going to see in the college football playoff, it gets shut down.
I've also still got the nightmares of not being able to protect the lead at Memphis on Saturday.
Yeah, but that could happen to anybody.
Is Zach Taylor? I just looked him up. He's the Bengals coach.
Yeah.
Yes.
I assume that's a joke then.
I'm guessing a Bengals fan. They lost to the Jets today.
Okay, got it. All right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that sounds like a Georgia fan who's been dropping Mike Bobo in the chat for the last 37 minutes.
All right. So if you wanted to go NFL, I mean,
you don't go NFL. You're gonna have to wait too long, unless you've got somebody who's ready to drop everything right now.
Todd Monken did a pretty good job at Georgia.
Yeah.
Ravens might be out of the playoff race in a few more weeks.
Georgia just might bring Todd Monken home.
They might.
Is the job too big for Brian Hartline?
Yes.
Certainly fits the recruiting model.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to have more of a track record as a coordinator, but we have seen hires where guys weren't coordinators or play callers of any significance before getting the head coaching gig who turned out pretty well. One of them lost to LSU this year, though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Penn State's taking a swing at the guy, you call Matt Rule?
Yeah. Sure.
Is that too Midwestern Brian Kelly?
I think that's too Midwestern Brian Kelly.
Again,
I do feel like after swinging and missing on Brian Kelly to that extent, we are definitely, there's going to be like an overcorrection toward this is going to be somebody from the South, somebody with ties, maybe not directly to the state, but this is going to be a Southern coach.
I mean, I don't think of Jed Fish as a Southern guy, but like he obviously went to Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doesn't need an accent. He just needs experience coaching in the South.
If it gets to Matt Rule, that would be extremely interesting. I would look forward to hearing what conversations got us there. You know, we've mentioned a lot of coaches who I think would say yes. I just don't know what order LSU is going to go in. That's
people are saying Lincoln Riley in the chat. That's
I would do that just to see the reaction from LSU fans.
I mean, that would just be funny because of Lincoln Riley's I am not going to LSU the day before he leaves for USC.
Going spelled Geaux.
Yeah.
But also because you hired the guy from Notre Dame who couldn't win at the Premier Blue Blood, but we'll get him to win here, to go hire the guy who can't win at the Premier Blue Blood program, but we'll get him to win here.
Yeah, give the keys to somebody who maybe hasn't had these resources. See what they can do. If you can win a title with Les Miles, Oklahoma State coach, and with Ed Orgeron, you can give it to somebody who maybe hasn't been in that position before and see what happens.
Hire Summerall or Schumann. That's what I'm doing.
The more I think about it, the more I bet you they take a swing at Brent Key.
Sure.
Yeah.
Another good example. Think he might be a good coach. He's never had the opportunity to run a program like this.
Yeah.
Give him the shot. I would take all of these over a John Gruden. I would take all of these over
John Gruden.
An Urban Meyer. I mean, I'm just trying to think of like, what is the opposite of let's give somebody a crack at like, being able to really operate. Not, again, like you said, Tom, not turnkey, but man, oh man, there's a lot of advantages that can work in your favor at LSU.
It is funny to me because Urban Meyer does get mentioned, obviously, because he's Urban Meyer and doesn't have a job. But I feel like Urban would be miserable coaching in this era. I mean, he was miserable coaching when he was still able to run everything.
Yeah.
Now, when the players had power and money over him, I think he would lose his mind.
We saw that in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, anything else we want to get? I mean, we're going to keep talking about this. Again, this is the Louisiana State University football job is open in the same hiring cycle where the University of Florida football head coaching position is open, and Penn State, and more to come. So, yeah.
Does this impact any other school's decisions?
It could. I mean, if you're Auburn, Florida and LSU are open, so you're not going to get your top choice.
Well, unless their top choice is John Summerall, which I think it might be, actually.
Well, then I don't know. Depends who your top choice is.
Like I've got an Auburn buddy who's pretty plugged. He's like, dude, Pat Summerall, John Summerall is the next Pat Dye.
He's dialed in.
He's next Pat Dye. Yeah. Which I actually think he'd probably kill it at Auburn, to be honest. But
me too. That's the OG Troy boy. You think OG Troy boy don't understand how to work his way around?
Uploaded in the chat
would be
says
great with the boosters.
Kentucky thinks Summerall is theirs. No,
not if those jobs are open. He's not.
If you wanted Summerall in your Kentucky, you should have hired him out of Troy.
And Willie Fritz, the former Tulane head coach.
Maybe, but that's not a fit to me as far as
I only think it's not a fit because it's hard to go from the 60-plus-year-old head coach to the 60-plus-year-old head coach.
And also,
the chat's saying a lot of Dion. I definitely don't think Dion is a candidate. No.
But Bill Belichick,
the content though.
Bill Belichick has a low buyout right now.
I think Manny Diaz would do well there. By the way,
shake the world up, Scott. Scott, I know you're a big fan of the Cover 3 podcast. You can shake up the college football world by bringing Bill Belichick to LSU.
And remember, you're not just getting Bill, but it's a package deal with Jordan
and Lombardi.
I mean, look, Joe Brady's interesting. Manny Diaz, I don't think we'll get it, but I think he would do well there.
Chip Kelly.
That would be no. All right, it's like how many parallels here? Doesn't like recruiting. Last name is Kelly, older guy
from the a northeastern sort of region also, in general.
To be clear, Chip Kelly wouldn't want this job. Chip Kelly passed up on Florida to take UCLA for the very same reasons he wouldn't want to work the LSU job. He just wants to go call plays somewhere and have fun and be a football coach. He doesn't want to have to do all the other crap.
Yeah. I think the most important thing is will they go pro model where the GM calls the shots? That's probably going to dictate, which I don't think they will, but maybe they will.
Barton Simmons to LSU.
If they do that, I assume it'll just keep Austin Thomas, but I could be wrong. Also, to circle back on the is LSU a top 3 job debate, I think it very arguably is. I don't think they have I don't think they have the money advantage that they had maybe under Saban,
Mm,
But they did just spend $50 million to make their coach go away.
This is true. Yeah, they're not poor.
yeah. We will continue this conversation. Yeah.
Colin Klein?
I
It's
don't
probably
know.
too
I don't
big
know.
for
I don't know about
Klein.
Colin as a recruiter, so I couldn't really comment on that. Is Colin a
Yeah.
good recruiter?
He's not bad, yeah. But like plus he's also going to be in a playoff race.
Mhm.
A&M's playoff odds got pulled off the board.
Mm-hmm.